inviting me to have a part in today's program. I hate to say, but I must say, and who would like to hear when I say I am sick? Nevertheless, yes, I've been sick for over 45 days or so. I'm under treatment. On receipt of the letter from Registrar Murthy, from Bablu, I sat down with him, I prayed with him, but I was unable to say yes. That day I was in Imphal. I live in a far-flung area in Ukhrul district, bordering Myanmar. Then the next day, I met my wife, discussed how your health is not good. I won't think it's advisable for you to travel. But then somehow I felt inclined I should just come. If not for anything else, to say I support the program. And I do so now. So in one way, reluctantly, I accepted the invitation and I am here. The sickness, what do you call it? I don't know. I thought I should tell vertigo, the dizziness, very, very severe type of dizziness. I can't really turn even here, so what I would do is I would just face straight like this, turning this way, that way. I feel quite handicapped. I should be telling, but I'm telling. So at the outset, I say, I support the program. Every effort by this forum, by anyone, as individuals, as intellectuals, as social activists, moral activists, whatever you call, I do not know. But people who have hearts, good hearts, hearts that love human persons as human persons, I often say, we must see each other as human persons. Manipur, though a tiny state, has given us now a big problem. India is almost unable to digest it, but they must. The earlier the authority in Delhi understands the ground situation and deal with it effectively, the better, I feel. To allow things to go on for so long, does not do good to anyone, not to anyone. We may just refresh, no. As I was lying flat, I couldn't turn this way, so I sleep the whole night in this one position, getting up with great difficulty. I was praying. It came to my mind, why not tell the people? It was really in 1958 when Manipur was represented. One from the hills, Mr. R.S. Fisa, he died years ago. Another L. Acho from the valley, Bablu's community, he also represented. They were here when the debate went on as regards Armed Forces Special Powers Act. And in the first, I would feel why they felt the need of this act at all, but they did so. But I want to tell you, both MPs opposed. It is recorded in the debates of 1958. They both opposed. And who cares, whether now or then, or even hereafter, do we have enough confidence that Parliament would be fair to small communities? particularly in the Northeast. Please understand me in a positive way. I'm not really emotional, but I feel deeply about it. We've been neglected far too long. We want to be accepted as equal citizens. That ASPA, now the most hated, I would say the word hate, surely hated. People are cursing the leaders in Delhi. Maybe Mr. Modi is for me, well, people keep asking me in our small state and in the districts, etc. What do you think about this man, this BJP man, who is trying to destroy Christianity, this and that? Don't forget about it. Christianity cannot be destroyed. You may be destroyed, I might be killed, but not your Christianity. I take him to be a good man. Prime Minister, perhaps he's a good man, very knowledgeable man, maybe meaning to do good for millions of Indians. Good to have a man like him. But still, the way things are developing, ominous signs are there. Whether India as such will go on like this for many more years to come. We are too small people, small fries to be talking about big things. But I want you at least to accept me as one who is expressing from my heart. I am not a very knowledgeable person also. I did not really learn much. But what I say, I'm supported my heart. Now, when the ordinance of Armed Forces Special Powers, the ordinance was issued, this was during the British rule. Indians were second-class citizens in India. I want it to be understood properly. Let my voice also be heard by a few of us. Let us hear together. India, millions of Indians were ruled by a handful of British people. I have no hatred for British people. Maybe there are a lot of things for which they should be thankful for today, even with examining the history. But to accept the fact that you were second-class citizens, not now, don't feel hurt. I got very hurt when I was serving as Chief Justice of Himachal Pradesh High Court. Someday I just walked through the mall, and it belonged to the British. The Indians had nothing to do, along with dogs. They were not permitted to go out on the street, the mall, I am told. There was a big signboard. Indians and dogs are not permitted here. And come on, I appeal to you through the teeming millions. Somehow, it never happened to the Northeast people, though they were in the primitive stage. Half naked they might be, but they were honorable people, citizens, in their own right, in the jungles. Maybe half-fed, primitive, poor, and therefore we will never call dogs at a time. Second was because they were subjects of the British king. The Northeast people were never subjects of any king. There are many other things they come back to me, even remembering these kind of things, you see, when just 50, 60 years ago, you were treated this way. And today, at that time, if they use the provisions of Armed Forces Special Power to control, to suppress the Indian movement during the time of Quit India movement, they used it, they hated it, they cried out against the white people, they cursed the white people, But soon after they left, giving them freedom, they began to suppress their own citizens. This is the greatest shame in the history of India, as far as I am concerned. I would feel, and many, many Nagas, thousands of them have gone to the grave, cursing Indian leadership for having killed them, for having burned their houses time and again, for having raped their women, for having killed their children, for having kept them in concentration camps, so on and so forth. Is there any mechanism now to let the people forget the past and come on together? Now let us make one society, one people. Let us be honorable citizens of a country. What they did not like, why they should apply it to us. As I said, they had alien rulers, the white-skinned people ruling them. They're controlling them. They're in their own country. And today, we are said to be a republic. If this is the way in the republic citizens must go through, it's a shame. It's simply to claim that India is the largest democracy under the sun will give no meaning now to the people of Northeast. I will not just talk about Manipur, Ruplu's community, Métis. I'm a Naga. Nagas have much more grievances, perhaps, than any other people against government of India. There's nothing to hide about it. The talk is going on still. 20 years with the present group, IM group, whatever. I would suppose they should be talking to the leaders of the Nagas, talking to IM leaders. Never mind if they mean to do anything at all. Let them go ahead. But even after 20 years of ceasefire, they love this law, ASPA, Armed Forces Special Power. They're not ready to remove it. Listen for ceasefire and ceasefire and ceasefire every day, 20 years. And yet, without this, that Indian Army cannot do anything is simply, I don't know. What kind of plea is this? That means allow them to do as they like. Let them tremble. Do you think this alienation of citizens from the rest of the country, that should be #1 point for government of India, in my view, to consider if people are alienated from the central government. I don't know how long we shall stand united as a country. Dangerous things are coming up. In 1958, from 1958, when I was in second year college, these armed forces of powers came into force. First, the target was the Nagas. The Nagas, my people, and how many have it wiped out? Never mind. Even now, in the hills, probably you know that Wainam thing. I mean, I hope some of you would rather visit someday and meet the people, the children who are crying still. And last year they called me, come on, I said, what can I do? I would rather attend a church service and let me share from the Word of God and let us go to the feet of God. Come on, let us forgive them. So just unable to forgive. I said, come on. Unless you forgive, you'll have bitterness in your heart. Come on, no record of it. Come on, let us meet. No. You know, what is your decision? I can't think of the incident. My daddy was buried alive. I was 15 years. When I rushed home, he was still alive. I had to pull him out. Come on, your ASPA and your people must come up to say this is no good. Suppose you succeed eliminating us also, it doesn't do any good to the government of India. I would feel so. I don't want to, I hate to say also about myself, even when I was a judge, I became a victim. The question is, to say anything, to pass an order even by a high court judge, or they won't take it. I was sitting in a court in Imphal. My house is in Nagaland, in Dimapur. I was sitting, hearing such cases, disappearance of people, even their own soldiers, policemen also, anything. They would take away, people as witnesses, they would admit. But where have they gone? When I questioned myself, the army people, they would say, no, just on arrival there in Ukro or in the camp, he just got down. And there's a, but instead of taking action against him, you see, and that the government would expect, we would excuse him. There's nothing doing. He wouldn't come home. What a sad thing. He'll never be reunited with his wife, with the children. What we could do was, well, to grant some compensation, that's all. It's only symbolic. It's a horrible. Many, many cases. They would like to influence even right, maybe from the Home Minister of anything. Well, I'm saying, things are very real. Things are real. And one day when I was hearing a case in Imphal, when Bablu's town, the call came that your house has been ransacked. A small, very, this thing, not a costly building. Nevertheless, my home, completely destroyed. What happened? There were reports that underground people were hiding in your house. If we catch them, who was there? Nothing. Nothing. Even still Almira under lock and key was broken open with the use of hammers or crowbar or whatever. I really don't want to say much about myself, but it is a fact. It is a fact. And therefore, it's for you to think how they have utilized this law, which is the real culprit here. And later, some major General Bande or somebody calling out from far off the justice, what have you done? You are not just a person. You are such a big shot of the government of India. India is a big country. You don't have to go on apologizing to people. Do a gentleman's job. I only want to know. They would never tell. Later, through High Court, I was informed. They said it was a mistake. Some wrong information. Well, that's it. Well, that is it. But how long? How long? Assuming at one stage they thought such a law was used in order to suppress, they call insurgency in the Northeast. It cannot be used perpetually. Perpetuity is also already attained the state of perpetuity. Emergency law must have a limit. And for India to say that without this law they cannot run the government is simply just unbelievable. Unbelievable. In aid of civil administration, that's what the plea of government is. To protect innocent citizens. But anyway, they would go against the insurgents or the underground groups or all that. Well, we have nothing much to say as far as the insurgents or underground groups or armies are concerned. Naga army, for example, they might, and they have killed a lot of them. And the Naga people also have a lot of Indian soldiers. So also in the valley, the same thing. But to say that every time they take the plea that they are their security forces to protect the civilians. One day in Vietnam case, when every time, in every incident, see, it was a crossfiring. In an encounter, they died. In an encounter, crossfiring, the civilian died. Every time encounter between warring factions, and the dead was only civilians. So we question in the courtroom, come on, whenever you fire, your bullet seems to be only going to civilians. How do you do it? An encounter always takes place in the jungle, and yet civilians die. People, farmers coming home, they kill. Children going to school, they kill. And as far as that home Vietnam case is concerned, even pregnant women would not be spared. In the open playground, babies would fall from the wombs of women on the ground. People saw it. Do you think those who are alive will ever forgive those Indian soldiers? No. It's $1 million question. But I am saying these things simply. The seriousness of things that prevail in the valley in Manipur, in the hills up there, mostly the Nagas. They have suffered and suffered enough. It should not be prolonged. Something should be done. And as a result of the efforts being made even here, people who have suffered so long, who have gone through misery, hunger, torture. You know, people even putting through big sticks to the rectum up to the mouth. I don't want to say. It's all documented. It's all documented. It has reached even the United Nations. Well, Naga cases there. From 64, the first ceasefire was in 1964. How many houses were burned? 6 times, 7 times, 10 times. People were not allowed to go to the fields. The policy of the government was that they might die of starvation. These kind of things are going on. But right now, one thing that is going on is the case that went to the Supreme Court as far as those, unaccounted killings, extrajudicial killings, and the loved ones are still crying. They think the actual story will be told someday. They want to hear it. Their loved ones will not come back, but they must be told what has happened. Don't we have a benign, a sovereign republic government in Delhi? Only when Delhi hears and listens, things will begin to move. As far as I understand, Delhi listens to army reports only. 100%. This is bad. This is bad. there must be a shift in policy. I was State Human Rights Commission chairperson for some, I don't know, I think I have taken much time, but maybe 1, 2 minutes. I have told enough in Imphal, but here maybe for the first time, I may just a little. I was very disappointed. I was on the way to Madhya Pradesh, as I was invited to be there for some time as a human rights chairperson. Mr. Dick Vijay Singh was the, I think, chief minister at that time. Then on the way to Imphal, there are people. After all, I'm from Manipur. They say, why should you go away? We need you here. Your birthplace, a man of this soil. So I said, well, my wife said, I think you can't go away. What explanation we give? We are not going there for money to earn anything. You say, all right, if people have confidence, if you can do something, well, I think I have a health strength for the time being. I was there, accepted. Nothing, and nothing. But I couldn't leave the office halfway. People would not understand the actual position. I stayed through 5 years. Nothing could be done. No cooperation, nothing. Provisions of law, just completely bypassed. Just appointment was issued. One old car was issued, and then one driver. And then this thing, no repair, no security, no chokitara, no PO, nothing. You just take this 9,000 rupees or 12,000 rupees or say, nothing, no product, nothing. And there were a few others who were appointed as members. I said, we cannot go on. But supposing I just quit it. And on a few occasions, I felt like quitting. But the second thought came, no. Come on, if there could be something. But we did something that is all right. But the state never meant to have Human Rights Commission in the true sense with them. They wouldn't like to do in accordance with the provisions of law. This is a central act. Everything is there. No police officer, no secretary, no this, no that, this thing. A little at the end of the month, then somebody has to run around to get that allowance or something paid. One whole month. Just, and then later, sir, your monthly this and that's all. In the end, of course, I have said enough in Imphal. That day I left the office, some pressmen came in and said, what do you say? Your opinion? Oh, I don't want to say much now, I'm going, but let there be no repeat of this in Manipur. It's a big signboard, it's a big signboard. So Manipur Human Rights Commission, a signboard commission. We continue. I appeal to you. I do not know, I don't have the experience how to go about, but think about it. Maybe to strengthen State Human Rights Commission, we need, of course, people of impeccable care. This is everywhere, not only Human Rights Commission, everywhere. We need people of integrity, honesty, and of impeccable character. Do we have? Must be. They don't want to bring in good people. They want to bring in only chamchas. They call it, I think, chamchas, whatever was it. Pliable persons. And things will fail. in this regard, I appeal to you, you people who are here, to think seriously if there is some way to strengthen, through your help also, this Manipur State Human Rights Commission. Just one day pointed recently, when the BJP CM is there, but I said, come on, just for an eye wash, please do not have commission. Wipe it. I said, no. We mean it. Can you call a spade? Spade. I think we have to go ahead. And then still they're not able to find a chairperson still. Somebody, one lawyer, senior lawyer, has been just appointed, is sitting there, that's all. We can't blame him. Namesake. This is nothing. After all, it's an institution. It's a statutory body. Is there a way now, through some way, to some level, maybe through central government or anything, they should be taken up seriously? At least investigation, at least to make the records, baka, making available everything, at least they can be extremely helpful for future generations. I don't know if I have said something which might help you think with reference to the topic you have already printed. Manipur is a very, very serious case. It's something like terminally ill type of society, getting very, very sick. Who is to blame? Only 2-3 years ago, when from United Nations, that who came? Rapporteur, Professor Hills or somebody. Well, he was not permitted even to enter Manipur. Human Rights Commission, I think. So we had to rush to Guwahati. I simply say, well, what I can do, but whatever little I remember, let me say, but I took out myself voluntarily. I speak the truth, the whole truth, nothing but the truth. So help me God, my God. And I said a few things, that's all. And maybe they took down some of the grievances that were brought before him also, I think. They prepared, I think, a blue notes, Pablo notes, according to him. We also sent later some recommendations, this and that. They said, come on, do something. I don't know. More than that, I don't think I have any contribution, except that each day I kneel down and pray that change may come about. It's about time. Let it begin once again here in this hall today. God bless you. Thank you very much.